Alright, example 1. In this case, you're going to have the quantity to the negative 2 power of x to the 4th y to the 6th over x squared y to the 3rd. This is a simple problem. All the exponents are positive inside. You must multiply this exponent by each one inside to come up with x to the negative 8th, y to the negative 12th, and then on the bottom x to the negative 4th, y to the negative 6th. From there you have to flip, and when you do that, this x to the negative 4th and y to the negative 6th, they're going to have to go to the top. So you'll have x to the 4th, y to the 6th on top, and then these items here are both negative. They would have to move to the bottom. So on the bottom you'll have x to the 8th, y to the 12th. Now from there it's a matter of cancelization there. You're going to have to recognize that the larger exponent is on the bottom for the x, and 8 minus 4 would be 4, but that ends up on the bottom where the larger exponent was. And then the same thing with y to the 12th. Y to the 6th over y to the 12th, the larger exponent is on the bottom. 12 minus 6 would be 6. There's nothing left on the top, so that means you must put 1. 1 over x to the 4th, y to the 6th. Example 2. The quantity to the negative 2 power of x to the negative 2, y to the negative 5th over x, y squared. Multiply through by the negative 2 and come up with x to the positive 4th, y to the positive 10th. On the bottom it's x to the negative 2, y to the negative 4. Now simplify these where necessary. The top does not have to move. X to the 4th and then y to the 10th. But the bottom, they're both negative. So they got to come up to the top. And that would be x to the 2nd, y to the 4th on top. So you no longer have a fraction because the bottom is gone. But you do have these x's to simplify. X to the 4th, x to the 2nd is x to the 6th. And y to the 10th, y to the 4th is y to the 14th. We'll start off by multiplying to come up with x to the negative 2, y to the 4th over x to the negative 6th, y to the negative 8th. And then flip where necessary. On the top, you have this, which must go to the bottom, and then on the bottom, this must go to the top. The y to the 4th on top stays there because it's positive, but this y to the negative 8th must go with it and become positive. Simplify left and right and top and bottom. You have x to the 6th over x to the 2nd, so that's x to the 4th on top, and y to the 4th, y to the 8th is y to the 12th. This is all you need. Alright, for this one we'll multiply through by a positive 2 to get x to the 4th, y to the negative 4th over x to the negative 8th, y to the negative 12th. Now flip wherever you have to. The x to the 4th in this position stays where it's at. But this must go to the bottom and become y to the 4th. This must go to the top, become x to the 8th. And this goes to the top and becomes y to the 12th. Now simplify the x's by adding the exponents. And then for the y's, the largest one is on the top. 12 minus 4 is 8.
I can't stop. Please.
Multiply through by the negative 2 on the exponents to get x to the 6th, y to the 8th, over x to the 12th, y to the 14th. Everything is positive, so now the only thing to do is to recognize, in the case of the x's, that the largest one is on the bottom, And that is the case for the y as well. You'll have 12 minus 6, which is 6, and then 14 minus 8 is 6. It must be 1 over x to the 6th, y to the 6th. Multiply through by the negative 3 for the exponents to get x to the 9th, y to the 18th, over x to the 6th, y to the 9th. Everything is positive, so just take a look at the x's. The largest one is on top, the difference is 3. Largest y is on top, difference is 9.